He would often show up to press conferences wearing...
Okay, is this nigga from Atlanta or something? What's good, YouTube? We got the top 10 NFL running backs you forgot about, bro. Let's check it out.
He gets going in a straight line. He's a hard man to get down on the ground. On his feet, 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
There are legends whispered on the wind of the NFL. Tales of running backs.
Marshawn Lynch is definitely one of my favorites too.
Of nature, ruling the league with absolute power.
Look at it.
Yet, these same gridiron gods, whose highlights once seemed endless, have mysteriously vanished from memory. Their incredible seasons now lost to time.
Gale Sayers, the superstar. He cuts, weaves, stops, and goes. He runs with power
Damn.
and precision. This is the eye of a hurricane.
I ain't never heard of him.
Today, we drag these forgotten kings from the shadows to once again shine a light on their spectacular and often tragically short reign of dominance.
LaDainian Tomlinson, we're gonna talk about Brett no more.
T-shirts printed and make a lot of money. The T-shirts are gonna read, "Free
How the audio sound?
McAllister. Where is the big guy?"
Let's start down in New Orleans with a running back who was as powerful as he was popular. Deuce McAllister was the heart and soul of the Saints offense in the early 2000s. He was a big, strong runner who was incredibly hard to tackle, like trying to stop a runaway bowling ball.
Saints give it to Deuce. Deuce bowls over a tackler. Inside the 5.
When he got the ball, you knew he was going to run with power and determination, often carrying defenders for extra yards. His best years were from 2002 to 2003, when he had back-to-back seasons over 1,300 yards. He was a true workhorse for the team, and a massive fan favorite in the city of New Orleans. Just when it all seemed figured out, everything changed in one moment.
I don't think it's quote-unquote officially over. You know, I know I'm retiring, but I think me and my team, we still have some work to be done.
A string of tough injuries started to slow him down, taking away some of that power that made him so special. But not every star fades from injury. Some vanish at the very peak of their power. For a while, Tiki Barber wasn't just a good running back.
I remember Tiki Barber.
He was one of the very best players in the entire league. He was known for his amazing ability to not just run the ball, but also catch it out of the backfield, making him a double threat that defenses had to worry about on every single play. From 2004 to 2006, his performance was truly incredible, as he averaged over 2,000 yards from scrimmage per year. Things looked normal until they weren't. Here's where it takes a sharp turn.
Nobody likes Tiki Barber. Not even his own brother, probably.
Right at the height of...
What the nigga do? Yeah, bro, people, this one like the media, bro, because people will say some crazy shit about you. They'll dead-ass slander your name. Now you got thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that dislike you and they don't actually know you, bro. Like, that's the weird shit about the internet.
His fame and success, Tiki decided to retire from football while he was still playing at an extremely high level. The very next year,
what did he do, bro?
The Giants went on to win the Super Bowl without him, which made his departure seem even stranger. While Tiki walked away, the next back sprinted in with blistering, undrafted speed. Willie Parker was all about pure, blazing speed. They called him Fast Willie, and for good reason.
Handoff is to Willie Parker. They call him Fast Willie Parker. Down the sideline.
He was an undrafted player, meaning no team thought he was good enough to be picked in the draft. But he worked his way up to become a star for a very tough Pittsburgh Steelers team. He wasn't the biggest guy, but his quickness allowed him to find a small hole in the defense and be gone in a flash. His most famous moment came in Super Bowl 40. In that huge game, he broke free for a 75-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, this is before my NFL watching time. I don't know, bro. But that's why I like these videos, bro. I get to learn about back in the day. You feel me?
At the time, was the longest run in Super Bowl history. It was an electrifying play that showed off his amazing speed on the world's biggest stage. He was also a two-time Pro Bowler and had a fantastic season in 2006 when he ran for nearly 1,500 yards. From lightning speed to brutal power, our next back punished defenders 1 yard at a time. During the mid-2000s, the Cincinnati Bengals had a super exciting offense, with stars like quarterback Carson Palmer and receiver Chad Johnson. But the tough guy who did the dirty work in the backfield was Rudy Johnson. Rudy wasn't necessarily flashy. He was a physical, bruising runner who was incredibly consistent and reliable. From 2004 to 2006, he was a true workhorse, putting together 3 straight seasons where he rushed for over 1,300 yards each time. He was the tough, pounding force that balanced out their high-flying passing attack. So, why isn't he remembered more? From the outside, it seems simple, until you dig deeper. The reason he got lost in the shuffle was that he played during a time when the league was filled with other, more famous running backs who had more highlight reel plays. But even the toughest runners can be forgotten if
Frank
they
Gore,
shine
buff ass.
far from the spotlight. Fred Taylor's a name that really should be more famous. He was an absolutely fantastic running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars for many years, finishing his career with over 11,000 rushing yards.
Fred Taylor. I don't remember, bro.
That's a number
I
that
might be a
almost
bot, y'all.
always gets a player thought of as one of the greats. He was a rare combination of having blistering top-end speed and also being a very patient runner who would wait for a hole to open before bursting through it. He was a consistently great player for a very long time, so his forgotten status is a bit of a mystery. But it all boils down to this one twist. He played his whole career in Jacksonville, which is considered a small market in the NFL. Teams in bigger cities like New York or Dallas tend to get a lot more media attention. On top of that, Fred had some bad luck with injuries during some of his best years. Now, meet the star who lit up Denver before a wild trade changed everything. Clinton Portis burst onto the scene with the Denver Broncos and was an immediate star. He had amazing vision, meaning he was great at seeing where the holes were going to be, and an explosive burst of speed to get through them. He had multiple seasons where he rushed for over 1,500 yards. But Portis wasn't just famous for what he did on the field. He was also known for his wild personality. He would often show up to press conferences wearing
Okay, is this nigga from Atlanta or something?
crazy costumes,
Oh,
dressing
fuck
up
no.
as different characters he made up. The fans and media loved it.
How do you come up with the characters that you portray in your press conferences in Washington, D.C.?
Just playing around, really.
And then came the part nobody expected. He was traded from the winning Broncos to a team in Washington that struggled a lot. While he still had some good seasons there, the team wasn't very successful, and he started dealing with more and more injuries. If you thought costumes were bold, wait till you hear why the next legend walked away. Ricky Williams was one of the most interesting and talented running backs of his time. When he ran the football, it was a unique sight. He had incredible power, able to run over defenders, but he also had a strange kind of grace, making him very hard to bring down. He even led the entire NFL in rushing in 2002 with a massive 1,853 yards and 16 touchdowns. He was a true superstar.
Goes by Ricky. Look at the Bills in your rear mirror. Touchdown, Dolphins.
So, why would a player that good be forgotten? Well, the deeper you go, the
Damn, that nigga fat.
Ricky's story is different than most. He chose to retire from football early, while he was still at the top of his game, because he had other interests in life. He later came back to the sport, but he was also suspended multiple times by the league for breaking its rules. The next man didn't just lead the league, he dominated like a machine from another world. For a 3-year stretch, Priest Holmes wasn't just a good running back. He was arguably the best offensive player in the entire NFL.
Priest Holmes?
From 2001 to 2003 with the Kansas City Chiefs, his numbers were like something out of a video game. He averaged over 2,000 yards from scrimmage and scored more than 20 touchdowns each year.
Holmes on the drug. 20, 15, 10. Priest Holmes splits defenders inside the 5. Touchdown.
He was a touchdown machine and the centerpiece of an unstoppable Chiefs offense. Nobody saw this coming, but a player that dominant could indeed be forgotten. 2 things happened. First, a serious injury to his spine ended his prime and ultimately his career, cutting his amazing peak short. Second, he played at the same time as another legendary back, LaDainian Tomlinson, who played for a long time and broke many a Holmes records. But records don't last forever, and neither did the glory that came with the next MVP. In 2005, Shaun Alexander had one of the greatest seasons a running back has ever had. He was the league's most valuable player that year. He ran for an incredible 1,880 yards and scored a mind-boggling 28 total touchdowns. He was the driving force of that Seattle Seahawks team, and he carried them all the way to Super Bowl 40. He was on the cover of the Madden NFL video game.
One of the best Maddens.
Honor. He was, without a doubt, the biggest star in football that year. You might think that's all. But wait, the real shocker was still to come. After that amazing MVP season, he signed a big new contract, and then his performance dropped off very, very quickly. He struggled with injuries and never came close to matching those amazing numbers again. Also, while he was incredibly productive, his running style wasn't always seen as flashy. He was a smart runner who followed his blockers, but he didn't have the same jaw-dropping jukes as other stars. Our final legend rose faster than anyone and fell just as hard under a brutal workload. At the very top of our list is Larry Johnson. For 2 seasons, this man was the entire Kansas City
There's a lot of
Chiefs
Chiefs backs on
offense.
her.
The team gave him the ball over and over and over again, and he delivered in a huge way. In 2005 and 2006, he had back-to-back seasons where he rushed for over 1,750 yards. To do that once is amazing. To do it twice in a row is legendary. He was the definition of a workhorse. In his 2006 season, he set an NFL record by carrying the ball 416 times. At first, it looked harmless, but that same incredible workload...
Is that still a record? Hold on, I want to know the record, y'all. NFL carries a season. Most NFL carries in the season. Okay, he's still on the record. Second place, boom, boom, boom. I thought Derrick Henry had more carries than that. Oopsies.
Probably why he's now forgotten. He was like a rocket that shot up in the sky with incredible brightness, but ran out of fuel way too fast. All those carries took a massive toll on his body, and he burned out very quickly. After those 2 amazing years, his performance declined sharply. He also had some off-field issues that further dimmed his legacy. So, if you believe these forgotten legends deserve to be remembered for their incredible peaks, drop a trophy emoji in the comments to show.
Yeah, I heard Ricky Williams was gonna be one of those ones, bro. But that nigga couldn't put the za down, bro. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I'll catch y'all next one.